I'm Carcina. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. What's up? Diddy? Oh man, now Diddy did it. Diddy, boy, Ashton Kutcher from everybody's favorite TV show, who's now, that's that 70s show. His best friends was Diddy back in the early days. He used to party and hang out with Diddy constantly. And he's been at those parties constantly. And now Diddy, who's, of course he's going through everything he's been going through. His buddy was Ashton, who always defended him, always took up for him, hung out with him for countless times. They've done business ventures together. They have made their rounds. Now, he has talked about these parties. Then he's actually went ahead and made some changes in his own appearance and group. He actually went ahead and had a charity foundation set up to protect people who were being used and abused. And he's actually spoke and said, there's nothing I could really say about the Diddy man. There was nothing he could really bring to the table, as Diddy is just so popular with the people. But his own morality was called into question once he became the face of the people on the 70s show and Dude, Where's My Car? And then he got married to Mila Kunis, and she's another actress, and Danny Matheson and what he did in his Scientology binge. And they came out and defended him, saying we know him as a person, and this is this, and spoke out in defense of him. And boy, did that go wrong. And once that case came out, his show he did with him, The Ranch, and all of these different accusations kept flying around about him, and they defended him. Knowing Danny's past, it was too much. They covered it up. And their whole charity foundation they had that's supposed to protect women and all of this looked like a big, gigantic farce. So all of this was put into question with their whole relationship and everything. So now they had to apologize because their whole brand was being affected by it. See, people are cool with you until they lose some money. Now, when they start losing money, the coolness is out the window. What they're going to do is try to make an arrest. All right. As embarrassing as it might be for the department, they want to have something that they can get a conviction on. No matter if it might not be what you guys think it is. What the state of New York want to do is find anything that they can link him to, where it's a drug connection, something that he pleads out to, because they know they rush to judgment because of social media, the media world, everything. And because they did that and they went out in such a big fashion and it's major news, if they don't come back with some type of arrest for Diddy for something, this is all going to look like, what was this for? You wasted the taxpayers' dollars. Y'all rushed to judgment because of social media, that you look very inept at your job. So they're going to make something stick. He's going to be arrested. You're going to be looking at probably taxes. It's going to be something to do with all of this crap that they got on the table. Diddy is not he's going to get off. He's going to get off. But What you're looking at is a major scale event. So now, when you got a major scale event, they're going to make sure he gets arrested so they can have the show. He's got to go in, he's got to do a court trial. They're going to find a way to New York this thing. They're going to get the event to where he can complete or something and they can come to an agreement on something. Well, he took a plea. It won't be guilty, but he's guilty. And that way they keep their conviction rate up. This whole thing goes away and they'll be done with it. Oh, they know right now it's BS on their part. And a lot of this Little Rod stuff is lies. I know Jeff. He is. He's like bouncing around like I don't know what's going on with him. He's at the press conference right now. I got it on the screen. I did that so the Patreons, you guys could have it and go from there. Now, here's the main thing that people hadn't really seen or understood about what had transpired. Because Ashton Kutcher and his wife took the position of defending Danny, their former, their best friend, their former work colleague, because they came out and defended this man and made these statements, and in defense, they put out a video apology to the victims and after they were kicked off of their own charity. Imagine if you started a charity and they kick you out of it. It's like, wait a minute, this is my charity. And you kick me out of it? Now, Demi Moore actually talked about Ashton and how weird he was and how he wanted to spice things up because he was dating an older woman. He went out and started, getting her to do threesomes, something she didn't want to do, but she did it for him. He was sick. So when you start seeing these situations, you start seeing things pop up that don't usually coincide with what everybody else's expectations are. Now, you could always be villainized on social media. It doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Anybody could take an image and spin it. Cat Williams was talking about Diddy wanting to hang out with him and all these different things. We spoke about this on the Patreon. He said the state of New York can't tell Homeland Security and the FBI what to do. The documents were filed in New York, federal district court. That's where you're wrong, buddy. This is a conjunction. You don't think the FBI is working in conjunction with the Homeland Security? Then you got, remember Jaguar Wright came out and said all these things. Now she stumbles on a lot of stuff because she knows it, because she was there at these parties, a lot of them. But a lot of this stuff, she just goes off speculation and just goes way off the rails. Fab has never really been down with any of the Hollywood stuff. That's why Fab is not there. That's what Diddy like. We never party. I mean, these guys are talking about what really the situation is, and what Joe Rogan's so high all the damn time. But they never really talk about the real situations. Yeah, she's a nutcase. So you're not going to really get the full aspect of what was going on. I mean, LeBron ain't been to those parties where it get freaky like that. LeBron ain't gonna be there for that. I mean, you heard it from Gene, even when Gene was bodyguarding him. Puff wasn't gonna, if he was gonna get down like that, he's not gonna get down like that with other people around that might spread it. Like these things are put in a group where nobody wants people to know what they're doing. So if there's a lot of them there, it ain't somebody there that's gonna be, hey, what the hell? What's going on? Because it's funny to me that once all this stuff come out, now everybody's seen something. You see, that's what gets on my nerves. It's like, where were you at before? Man, I kicked in the door and then I saw Diddy getting down with this dude. And I was like, man, what's going on here? It's like, dude, come on. Why you wait till today? Why is that relevant today? You could have been told that story.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot. I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
4 times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no.
Yeah, Ashton can't tell about any of the parties. So the thing is, what they're going to do with Ashton Kutcher, just like they're doing with everybody else, is they're going to ask questions. Sir, Marcus, I'm not on house arrest in Chicago. He's like, how do you know Jaguar was there and you live in Chicago? Jaguar Wright used to date the dude from Philly, the white boy. What's his name? Steve Storch or whatever, Scott Storch. She used to date him. He should change his name to Scott Snort, because that's all that dude did was blow 24/7. And they were at a white party, and she was there with him. Well, I mean, it's not a white party, but it's one of them all white houses out there in the hills, rich party. And she was there with him, and drugs was in heavy usage, and she partaked. That's just that. So she's been around those places when they were like getting down. Yeah, DJ AM almost OD'd at one of their parties. I'm quite sure I don't know why she haven't told that story, because I think she was there that night. But y'all should ask her. Didn't DJ AM OD at one of those parties? And they brought him back to life. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of stuff she said is just not true at all. But at first, she went from protecting Jay-Z to now she's coming at Jay-Z head every video. So it was like you was protecting Jay when you was doing everything else. Jay-Z was this nice guy. He was this and that. He must ain't do something for her. Now he's just getting a full blunt of her attacks. Yeah, Gene was bodyguarding Scott Storch for a while. I think he did. Yeah, so Gene would know. You could ask Big Gene. He probably was there. He probably know. You ask him if what I'm saying is a lie. I'll tell you that right now. Uh, yeah, but getting back to this Ashton Kutcher thing, what they want to do is request to speak to them. They want to know, okay, this guy was at this party. The interview put you at the party. You were at Diddy's parties. What was happening at this party? Did you see anything? They just want to get statements. It's not like the guy's there to rat on them, like he's there to snitch on them. Ashton Kutcher is probably going to deny the request. You're not subpoenaed. You don't have to go and talk to Homeland Security if you don't want to. Or you could give a statement that could help Diddy, or you could say, hey, this is my account. Nothing ever went down here and this and this. They're just taking statements and everything down. And he's like, okay, this person has been there. This person has been there. So they're reviewing all the information. They're interviewing people. They want to get as much information as possible. So this person was around Diddy during, I guess, something happened and somebody probably named him and said, oh, Ashton Kutcher was there. So you can ask him about what happened that night. So Ashton probably they sent in a request probably to his manager or agent, reaching out to him to ask him the questions to say, hey, you was probably at a lot of these parties and we heard it, saying that you were there. Did you ever see blah, 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 blah? So that's when it comes down to him altogether. It could be Little Rod. It could be it's somebody you never know. It could be somebody they interviewed who said his name in something and said, hey, Ashton Kutcher was there. Ask him. He would know. See, when you have that kind of when you have that kind of drawback, and they've already went through the ringer. Sean is never going to tell on Diddy. I was going to do that in a video, but yeah, I might still do a video. And I'll tell you why Sean is never going to tell on Diddy. Diddy already told on himself. Y'all don't even remember, but he did. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Somebody told me Gene Deal said he gonna testify. They was like, dude, they asked Gene, would you take the stand and testify against Diddy? And he said, yes. That's a snitch. I'm like, dog, I have not seen that. And they was like, I'm gonna send it to you, Cino. I'm like, oh my God. If he said that, that's too far. But I don't know the extent, or unless they beef is more than what he said, saying already, No, it goes from one instance to another instance. That's what I'm saying. Ashton Kutcher is not backed up. His public image has taken a blow for defending Danny Matheson when Danny Matheson had all those SA charges against him. So now with all those charges against him, he looks foolish for standing next to Danny Matheson, defending him like all of those people were lying. That's what everybody was talking about. So now his image is bad. So he doesn't want to. You think they want to put a video out apologizing? They did that because their image was destroyed. This is what happens in the game. You have to understand that when people come forward and they start saying things that normally isn't true, there's a reason for that. Or when people don't want to make a statement, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Ashton Kutcher is not going to go there and make a big stand about it. Like the same thing with Cuba Gooding Jr. Y'all forget they came and got them. They just want to interview people about this case or what they seen or what they didn't see. He has yet to be charged, which means they are trying to dig and find something with a fine print cone. Normally, somebody of this stature, they would have had something or of arrest by now.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, if they came and arrested LeBron on a basketball court, I would not reject to that at all. I would try to assist the cops in their arrest. Like, sir, we do not need your help. I'm sorry. I thought he was, resisting. So that's why I want to put my knee in the back of his neck. No, they don't. They don't see it that way. That's why Russ got out of the country. That's why he in Bali right now, living it up.
Good morning. I'm going to record this, so I'll play it back. So I'll begin early. Not that many people joined my Instagram anyway. A couple of hundred maybe. Let me say this. I was asked to speak about this attack on the founding fathers, and in light of it becoming the 50th birthday of hip-hop, I figured I'd share something because I was asked from a friend. He sent me the comments from the DJ Academics. I don't know who Academics is, but I know that he's popular amongst young people. Let me say this. Hip-hop has been the founding fathers without Hollywood and Chiba and Starsky and Kool Herc and Busy Bee and Love Bug, and without Grandmaster Flash and Grand Wizard Theodore, and without those people, I wouldn't be here. But I was there before there was such thing as records. These are people who played the parties that Rush Productions promoted. So they are the founding fathers, and they created hip-hop. And no, they didn't all get so much money. But as far as money, hip-hop has been great because it's given people ways to survive, and other people have become extremely rich. I mean, I remember.
And that's true. Now, with Cassie cooperating with the feds, we don't know how far the cooperation goes. We don't know what all she said. We don't know all she put into play. What we do know is that she was cooperating. Yeah. So now you're looking at something that's it's pretty damning to him. Can you imagine if you're in this situation that Diddy is in, and you're going down this vast road of everybody just making up stuff and on the internet, and everybody's talking about it. It's like every day there's a new Diddy thing on the table, and you got to survive and navigate through that. That would be tough, wouldn't it? Because let's say they prove you innocent. Everybody still, they ain't gonna never hear the innocent part. They only gonna hear you was found guilty. Look at what they're doing to Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is the biggest thing that you could say right now of an example of how messed up things are. And if they'd have done this in the 70s, if they'd have done something like this in the 1970s or 80s or whatever, and they tried to blacklist this man or take away what he'd done, and he had 2 movies and the #1 spot and all of this, they'd have pulled this in the 80s. The Black community would have responded. They would have shown Hollywood their force and said, we're not supporting your movies. We don't buy this. We ain't going with that. There would have been marches. There would have been people who gave a damn, even if the girl was white. By them having it on tape, him running away from this woman and still being found guilty, just shows you the examples on how dangerous this situation is. And with this new climate of people can create charges just by social media. You know how dangerous that is? People can make up stuff on the internet and make people leave. Make a wife get up and leave somebody. Meek Mill is like weirded out that everybody is saying, yeah, man, Meek can get his back blown out by Diddy. And that's everywhere. Like people, you would think it was 100% confirmed to be true. The way they talk about it on the internet, man, they dressing alike, man. Look at them, they hugging each other. Oh, they definitely getting down. And you can't tell my boy anything, man. He had to do that so he wouldn't go to jail. I mean, he was facing a lot of time, man. I don't care how many years of probation that I was being threatened with. I ain't going that route. And I'm like, why y'all so concerned about what Diddy doing to this dude? And the 76ers dude is got him on his private plane. He's staying with him, flying him out. Him, and why are these billionaires hanging out with Meek Mill? That's what you need to be asking. This dude ain't making no money off rap. He put out an album with that big fat bastard, Rick Ross. Nobody bought that. Nobody listened to that whack album. Then Meek just dropped the album on his own. That flopped. They don't realize their time is gone. They were gimmick rappers anyway. You were following all these other gimmicks and all these other people who was doing their own thing. You was riding their way. Who was Meek Mill trying to be? I'm going to see if y'all get it. Who was the guy before him? Who wave did he take? Who wave did Meek Mill ride? There you go, Q. Ace Hood. I ain't think you guys was gonna get it. B Wide almost got it too. He's right with you. Ace Hood. He took Ace Hood style and rode his wave. Ace Hood was before him. Yep, and Ace Hood, forgotten about. Once his chain fell on stage and it broke, I mean his watch, it broke and the piece fell out and his watch was fake, that was it. It was over for Ace Hood. Everybody turned their back on him and said, all right, forget Ace Hood. We got Meek Mill. And they rode right over to Meek. So, right. Now, they was all cool, Wale, Ross, and Meek. Now, Wale and Meek ain't cool, for instance. Nah, he jacked Ace Hood swag, everything, his cadence, everything. You go listen to Ace Hood and you listen to me, you already know. Yeah, I know. They were all trying to be him. Now, let's get to this thing here on why this is so important of what Ashton Kutcher could say. If Ashton Kutcher cooperates, now you have a white guy in there. A white guy who's a part of Scientology. He's secretly in a cult with them. Now, because Diddy is also in relationships with those Scientology people, you're looking at a whole different thing of we are above this. We're not going to respond. We're not going to do anything. Mila Kunis, this is before her. This is going back to 2003, 2004. But because he went on that show, and this is where podcast shows get you in trouble. Because he went on that show and started talking about Diddy's parties, he can't say, I can't remember those parties. Because you remembered it on the show and had full recollection of it when it was brought up to you. You just chose and elected not to speak. This is why you got to be careful and guarded on some things that you say on these shows.
Can't tell that one either.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
4 times just to protect my
Just because he's trying to go through Diddy's stories, they don't even realize that they're being set up. That interviewer asked him specifically about Diddy's party stories. Why was that the case? Because that guy was setting him up. He's setting up all these people to find out what's going on at Diddy's private parties. Right. So that, and this was done way before that. So they knew that they was going to try to build some type of case. Oh no, Diddy ain't like that. Diddy's a whole new umbrella. I've tried to get other people to understand the plight of the situation so that people can understand the gravitas of it, but many just don't get it. So of course Diddy got dirt on people, but they got dirt on Diddy. So it's a circle that neither one of these people are gonna squill on each other by them trying to say Diddy got cameras in his house or whatever. That's a way of them saying to people, which is dangerous to those people that might have been at those parties, that Diddy might have them on tape, and which would put Diddy's life in danger, which would make somebody try to do something stupid to Diddy. So all of this has been brought up and brought to the forefront with no, charges so far. Normally, when it's somebody of this celebrity stature, you do get access to to some sort of a warrant before you come and raid their house. You have a warrant, not just a search warrant. You have an arrest warrant, because you don't want to be on TMZ, CNN, Fox News, and this leads to nothing. We don't want to do a Geraldo show, Al Capone vault. They just found Al Capone's vault, and we're going to find out what's in it. Then they like, we found the vault. And then they finally get there. There's nothing in the vault. Yeah, they can't have that. They can't do the nothing in the vault. Oh, yeah. Well, Diddy has always been in the upper echelons, so the elites. So he's always been at that level.
Masterson's family had contacted.
Yeah, and with Ashton backing up Danny like that, Mila Kunis has no clue on what Ashton was doing back then. She wasn't with him. Now he's a father and all of these stuff. So now she's like, look, you're a father now. That life is over. We got a new image. But then you got Danny Matheson, their friend, who they done movies with, produced and threw them in movies. And they coming out defending the man. And then you got like this, Diddy's lawyer. Well, yeah. Well, they could ask French Montana what they want about Diddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Yesterday was a gross overuse of military level forces. So that's Aaron Dreyer, Diddy's attorney, that's going to be dealing with this case. Now, if something actually comes of it, if there's an arrest, he's not really a litigator. He's more of a guy that takes a plea. Aaron Dreyer is not a guy that you get to litigate. He's not like Johnny Cochran. What he does is find a common ground and settle. That guy's a settler, not a litigator. His way of approach is to do what he just did there. Go to media and start bashing the department for their way of handling things in another matter, to try to switch gears and shift all the attention off the case and talk about how the police mismanaged what they were doing, period. At the end of the day, what you want to know is that the Diddy distraction is to take you away from everything that's going on that they're about to do. The government runs plays like you guys do on here the government likes to use big monumental events to set up plays. 9/11 was to say 911. The America is going to be in a state of 911. So 9/11, that was going to be the anniversary date. These things were selected purposely for reasons. Michael Jackson's funeral was a day the whole world was going to be focused on Michael Jackson's funeral. You're not going to pay attention to the president actually leaving the country to go over to Switzerland to meet with the world leaders. And the Bilderberg group and what you guys would call the Illuminati, they all met in Switzerland. Nobody talked about it. I think one reporter wrote about it. Nobody could come to no media, nobody could come on the property. It was in a castle. You couldn't see who was in the cars, who all came and who all left. Yes, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, all of them met there in Switzerland during Michael Jackson's funeral. So you'll be asking yourself, why did this actually happen? Why was this so huge? Because they use big events where they know the world's going to be paying attention here, so they can make moves that they need to do. Every time there's a Super Bowl, people are having meetings about wars, politics. Top leaders around the world are moving missiles from A to B. During this year's Super Bowl, guns was being moved, military equipment that's supposed to be only exclusive to the United States, night vision goggles, all of these things that are supposed to be exclusively for us. The enemy seem to have it in their hands. Syrians have it, all this tech that they never had before. They got our equipment. They did all of these, and all of this is happening under the nose of everybody, and they sleep at the wheel. Everybody sleep because they got you focused on the distractions. It cost almost probably $100,000 to suit up one soldier for war for the United States. So if you look at that and you start piecing things together, you start saying to yourself, man, is this what I really want? What's up? Well, you got to realize people are subjective, all right? They're very subjective. They're going to allege certain things. They're going to look in a direction in one way and turn their head and act like they didn't see it another way. They're not going to care. They don't want to hear that these girls was with it. Everybody wants to be the victim. 2024 is the year of the victims. Everybody wants to be a victim. They just made that quiet on the set. And they talking about stuff that happened in 1990. playing victim. You know, I could see for the people that really were attacked as children, but they trying to villainize a man who didn't do anything but make them feel bad. He made a toxic environment. He was mean. He treated women badly. We didn't get paid because of him. He wasn't in charge of payroll. So when you're not in charge of payroll, do you know what you're missing out on? When you're not in control of all of the events and things that you see with payroll, that's a whole line of people involved. Now, what Puffy was doing is he was actually helping create a whole genre of young artists in the world coming up, and they were coming into the entire game, right? And when you get into the game, Diddy was going to bring African American talent to the forefront. Well, if you take, for instance, all the people who have been involved in so many different aspects of promoting and telling you what you should be looking for. I mean, when you start thinking about what you plan on doing and having it delivered in a way that it matters, I see the big scope. If Diddy, let's say Diddy got what he wanted, right? Because Diddy is crazy. Diddy has done things that people don't even know about. There's one time, a lot of people don't like him because of that. It's the same thing with Nicki Minaj, but Diddy's protected because of his friends. He has powerful friends. When you get in this industry to acquire your type of revenue, you just don't get that and you're just cool. No. You get that because other people have sacrificed, other people have made the commitment, and other people have gotten together with you, you partnered. Nobody get rich alone. These rich and powerful people are rich and powerful because they have other rich and powerful people with them. They team up. Right. You don't have a lot of rich friends with poor people. It's not ideal for most people in the game to take a certain position against the system. And when you got Diddy and people like Ashton Kutcher, they're all in cahoots. Ashton Kutcher is not going to turn on Diddy. He's part of Scientology. He's in that cult group. And they are protected and they take an oath. They don't go to the cops. They do not go to police. They do not do anything. That's part of their rule set. They handle things in-house. So him cooperating, no. If Diddy, right, believe me, if some woman is going to come out and talk about Diddy in a certain way and say all these things, they're going to come up missing. TikTok is a way to put a target on yourself. You go on TikTok and make a statement, you gonna come up missing. And it ain't gonna be Diddy to do it. There'll be people that protects him, and there's other people besides Diddy that are connected. They have their interests to protect. So protecting Diddy is not because they like Diddy. There's other things probably connected to this that y'all don't know that they're trying to protect. So that person will have to probably be taken out. You'll start seeing people that are not really big in the game, just all of a sudden they get sick, they drop dead, they decide they don't want to live no more. It's a whole lot of things that's going to transpire. The thing is, we got to talk. Man, there's so much going down. People just have no idea. This whole game is crazy. No, man. The game is crazy. It ain't fair at all. There's so many moving parts, man. So many moving parts. So on Valentine's Day, the new Captain America movie comes out with Black Captain America. Which is really Captain Falcon with Harrison Ford in there. Well, no. Diddy is a part of a rich group that group can't mess with certain particular groups. You think your clique is something until you run up and you ruffle feathers with somebody in a clique you was with, and that they push you back down into your group, and now they're pushing you in your group. You still there, but you're not in any position to help or save. You can't, the people that's in your group, they're not even allowed to help you, because those people up there will cripple them too. And they're afraid. And then now you're seeing what real power is and how powerless you actually are. All the money, all the fame, and they make you look powerless to real power, real control of net worth. And it lets you know what you really own and what you don't. Did you know China is built and still constructing the longest bridge in the history of this world? A pipeline going from China to London This pipeline that they're creating and building, as they're going to build another one going from China to India. They're going to keep building these pipelines so that they don't have to pay a third party anymore. They're not going to have to use the United States. They're going to cut out all of the middlemen. And all of this is happening under your noses. This is why America is really afraid. They're really scared. All of these things are happening while the Diddy situation is going on. Well, Diddy has an honorary membership with the HBCUs. He donates, send these kids to college. I just got a thank you letter sent to me because from one of the girls who just graduated that I helped pay her tuition to go to Howard University, and she graduated with honors from Howard University. So I'm very proud of that. So I'm always have supported women, men, the whole nine. So oh yeah, I have the whole Jonte Porter live stream happening tonight. I got information they don't have. So that's always a great thing. This is why it doesn't pay sometimes it pays to kind of sit back and let things play out so that you could see it for what it is. Well, we don't understand a lot of the things that happen in this world because we take a blind eye to it. The things that they try to shield from you are the things that's going to affect you down the road. Why do you think the United States spent years the United States spent years at war in Afghanistan? Why would they be in Afghanistan for? We're fighting Al Qaeda. Really? Was that what you were fighting? Or was it something bigger? Think about it. And I want they're trying to kick me off now. We went to war with different nations for different reasons, but never for the reasons that they tell you. We're over there warring with these people, but we're not. Now, they have a huge poppy field for opioids, right? Opium. The biggest ones are in Afghanistan. But Afghanistan also has the largest amount of lithium. The mineral lithium is literally basically a meteorite that landed on this planet many years ago. And it landed over there. And they're mining it. And with that discovery of lithium, the mineral that they call lithium, it is the most powerful power source there is, next to quartz. I have a quartz watch. If your watch has quartz, it will never need a battery. All it needs is the sun. The sun motivates it to move. Even without the sun being on it, the quartz actually makes it move. Quartz have different weird properties embedded in it. See? $1 trillion is valued. But they don't tell you this. And this is why all of a sudden you have all this technology pop up. We're able to get flat screen televisions. We're able to get smartphones. We're able to get tablets. All of this is lithium now. This is from the results of the war. Look how much money they were able to make off of lithium. Now, with that being said, you're looking at another situation where you were told to look one way and something else was happening on the other side. While you were looking at the battle of Saddam Hussein and going to get him, that was the distraction. That was to give you somebody you knew. You needed a name. You needed somebody you know. Nobody knows who Osama bin Laden is. He could be anybody. We haven't built this guy up enough. So we need someone to go after right now that everybody knows. Let's go after Saddam Hussein. He's friends with the guy. We're just going to say they're friends. So they go get him, and then they go to Afghanistan. Meanwhile, we're there for Iraqi freedom. We're there to free the people of Iraq. That's why we're going there. It's like, are we serious right now? Now we're freedom fighters? Trying to get your weight down? No sugar. That'll do it. You will lose weight immediately just drinking water and cutting out sugar. You will see the weight drop dramatically. So Diddy's gonna have a headache on his hands for a while. But don't forget to stay tuned. We're gonna do that. And yeah, the Jonte cardio works. Oh, Jonte Murray, Jonte Porter. That's the one. Right. We're gonna go through that whole story. So we'll definitely do that. Yeah, that's later on tonight because I got some information they don't have. So, and this investigation is really still ongoing. It's not really done. So we'll tackle that too. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV. Welcome to HDI TV, Armando Black TV, and we out.